Hey, how are you doing? I have not seen you in almost a whole year. And I wanted to tell you this thing that I've been doing for the past year, which is I have been journaling for the past 365 days. Let me go ahead and tell you some things that it improved. My memory is so much better than it was. Like, I haven't even really changed my eating habits or my sleeping habits, but I noticed that whenever I started journaling, I was able to remember a lot more nuanced, smaller, detailed things. And the second thing that it helped me with is it helped with my perception of things, like my awareness, like what was going on around me. It was strengthening. It basically was just strengthening my brain the entire time. It was like a workout for my brain because, day to day, we're scrolling on our phones, we're really distracted, but a journal makes you very mindful. It puts you in one place, you forget what's going on in the world, and it's just you and this book. So, on top of my memory, and noticing these like smaller details, I noticed that my emotions improved. And not that I don't experience any negative emotions anymore, they're still there. I am able to reason with them a little bit better. I don't know how to explain how it works, but I believe it comes from just word vomiting. Like, I think just being able to put something on a piece of paper that's not judgmental and not having any sort of feedback is very liberating. So, what was my journaling style while I was doing this whole thing? To be completely honest with you, I don't really have one. Some days I was really structured, and some days I was very chaotic. I just found it more important just to get whatever out on the paper. I just felt very, just whatever I was thinking, whatever I was feeling, whatever I just felt like reviewing, I put it on the paper. Most of the time, what I talked about was what impacted me the most. For example, if somebody said something to me that day that really stuck with me, I wrote that down. Well, I want to start journaling. I would like to know where to start. So, where would I start? One way you can get started is to write down 2 or 3 highlights of your day. And some of these questions can be like, what was your biggest takeaway or lesson? Was it negative or positive? And what was your mood during the whole thing? And just start there. And then that way you have structure. Like, you can repeat that same thing every day. And then naturally what's going to happen is your own style is going to develop as you start journaling. You can do it logically or you can do it chaotically. I'm a little bit of both, but more chaotic. So, logically speaking, you can write down things in a structured chronological order, like from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can divide this thing into clean sections. Like, maybe one section can be like your emotion and how you feel. This other one can be like the tasks that you completed that day. And the third could be like who you interacted with. And the fourth can be like, what did you learn? And the second is chaotic. So this has no real structural integrity. It just kind of is. Basically, whatever comes to your mind, you just write it down. So the reason why this works for me is this is a very childlike approach. You know how kids will just kind of draw on the walls, or they'll just mark on everything and they don't care. And whenever they tell you stuff, it's just blah, 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 blah. That works for me because it makes me feel like I'm tapping into my inner kid. So how will this help my future self? So here's the thing. You get to write down whatever you want and just jot it down. However you have to do it, just jot it down. And then in the future, you can come back and review what went wrong. I'm able to look in it, like, outside of the window, what the issue is or what was working. It's basically like taking a photo and taking yourself back to those emotions. It's like, whenever you have something printed, you're able to like step back into that day. You get it. You get it. I don't have to tell you this. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to answer some questions that you guys have asked me on Instagram. If I can find it in my notes. What parts of your day felt best for journaling for you? So the best part of the day that worked best for me was around 7 to 8 p.m. It was after I ate, I got back from the gym. There's nothing more to do. It just allows me to kind of reflect on the day and do that. So sometimes, though, I would forget to write around that time. So the next day, like early morning, I will jot down everything that I did the day before. Shafky asks, after how long did you attain peace of mind and satisfaction after starting? So this happened immediately. As soon as I put the pen to paper and I saw how much fun it was immediate. Let me show you real quick. Like, it is so much fun to write down on paper like this. It makes it feel like I'm writing like on ancient papyrus or something. So to answer that question right away, how many times was I in these files? Do you ever skip a day and lie to your journal about it? There have been a couple of times where I would skip a week or two and then have to come back and fill in those days. The longest period I went was 5 whole weeks without journaling. I went through kind of a low period, and it was kind of grueling to go back and fill in all those days that I missed. But luckily, I wrote down pretty much what I did all those days on my calendar, so I was able to go back and fill it out. But so no, I didn't do it 365 days in a row. That would have been nice, but I still journaled for 365 days, if that makes sense. Stephanie says, I love journaling. Me too. It's great. I love looking forward to it every day. It's exciting. Keelan also asks, how do I use a pen and what is paper? Samantha said, what beliefs/limits did journaling help you shed? So one of the limits that it helped me shed was I thought I wasn't making any progress in the gym. What I did was I was basically writing down how much I was curling, how much I was benching, how much I was running or whatever, and logged all my progress, because you can use your journal as a progress tracker as well. And I noticed that even though I didn't feel bigger, even though I didn't feel any stronger, I noticed that the weights were slowly going up incrementally every month. How did it help your mindfulness each day, or how did it not? Did you find yourself forcing topics? Yes, absolutely. On some days, most days, it made me more mindful. Only on the days that I felt like I had enough energy to be mindful, if that makes sense. There were some days I really didn't want to journal at all, so I didn't really write much down. And I couldn't really reflect on that because it would only just be like a sentence. There were some times that I felt like I was kind of forcing topics. Like I felt like I needed to talk about more. Like I had a lot of energy, but I didn't really have much go on that day, and my mood felt like kind of neutral. So I had a lot of energy, but I felt kind of neutral, but I didn't really have a lot to say. So yeah, at times I did feel like I was just trying to speak. It felt like I was trying to create small talk with myself, which is kind of weird. Yeah, so I'm getting back into this YouTube thing, and I never know how to end this. I never know how to end these videos. Yeah!